Welcome in, everybody. This is day number 4 of the Momentum Method 30-day challenge. Now, I am so excited to be here. I hope you are as well. You've made it this far. You've gone through the foundational steps. We've done our conversion rate optimization. We've made sure our offer is going to pop, that it's going to stand out. I even got some feedback on my page that I thought was ready to go that has already converted to my list. Well, now I want it to convert for cold traffic. So I'm going to be making those changes as well. But we've been able to identify and audit our page to make sure it improves. We just set up our tracking pixels. So now I'm going to know all the traffic that I'm getting from Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So the organic reach that I get from my ads, I'm going to start to understand that. Google Search Console also is adding in things like the AI tracking. So that's eventually coming soon. So those are things that you can start to track to see how your brand gets mentioned more. So there's a lot of reasons you want to set those up. And as an optional step, we just set up an Inbox Geek pixel so that we can turn the anonymous visitors that we used to not be able to know who they were, and we can convert those into real, usable, marketable email addresses. So that's where we are so far. Now we are going to spend day number 4 before we start diving into traffic, which starts on day number 5 tomorrow. We are going to be focusing on doing an audit of everything to make sure nothing is missing. Again, the goal of this program is not for you to spend an hour a day. It's not for you to spend 2 hours a day. It's not even to hopefully spend more than 30 minutes a day. The goal is 10 to 15 minutes a day. So I built in an extra day if there are more things that you need to fix on this day. So this video is going to be very short, but I'm going to screen share so that you can understand what today is all about. Okay, so let me go in and grab my screen share option, and we're going to pull that up and let you see what our task is here for day number 4. Okay, so day number 4, your action item is very simple. Finish the page if it is not done. Okay, finish your page. On my side, I have to make an edit to my headline because I felt like the headline they offered me was much stronger and more punchier. And by they, I mean like Claude, the AI tool. So it gave me some really good feedback that I'm going to edit. So I need to edit my page a little bit. Confirm the tracking is actually firing. So remember, one of the things that we had to do was go into Google Analytics, and you should see a notice that it's working. Or if you set up Google Search Console, we're going to want to go in there and make sure that that part of it is all set up and that part is working. So that is this part of the process. We're just going through and we're just seeing and making sure things are actually firing and that things are actually working correctly in order to get us where they need to be. And I do want to show you what I just did is one of the things I went back to Search Console because remember, within Search Console, it was not working originally. And I told you, wait a few minutes, don't freak out, don't throw in the towel, life's not over. So I went in and lo and behold, I clicked on my the website I was testing this with, Six Figure Insider, which is one of my other products. And I set up my Google Search Console and it said ownership verified. So see this? That's what it would look like if it's verified. So if your Search Console was not verified, you would do that in this step. So that's exactly what I did here. So I went in to make sure that that is verified. So your Google Analytics should be set. That would be an important thing to check on. You can test by going to google.com/analytics. So notice I'm over here inside the Rush protocol, and notice I have 4 active users. So see that? So probably because I've opened it in every tab imaginable. So I've got 4 active users though. So that tells me, and that's a good way to test as well, is that it should show active users within a few minutes once they've been on your page. That's one of the easy ways to test at this point. Now, it does take up to 48 hours. I happen to be recording this in a very short window. So you'll, by this day, when you're testing this, you should actually see some actual traffic data that's showing up here. So just keep that in mind for this part of the process. So all we're doing here is we're making sure our page is ready to go. You can do more of the conversion rate optimization work and anything like that because you don't want to send paid traffic to a broken or half-built page. Like, let's just be honest. Now, I have some feedback. I thought my page was doing very well. I have good conversions. I was pretty happy with it. Now, going through this method myself, right? A program I created and put together and put this whole thing together. Now I'm going through going, I probably should fix some of these things. So it is giving me some ideas that I can fix this because I'm now sending this to cold traffic and I take for granted that it's my own traffic. So it's always good. And I count on AI as kind of like my advisor in a lot of ways, right? So that's what it is. Now, here's what you can do here. So right here, you're going to paste the URL or describe what you're doing. Okay. So I can paste in my link here. And you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to paste in my link and you want to describe what you've done or not done. So I'm going to say oops, wrong way to do that. Okay, so I'm going to grab that and I'm going to say, I still need to update my headline and add the proof you talked about. All right, so I'm just telling it straight up what I'm doing. My offer is a training program helping entrepreneurs launch a business with AI. Okay, so let's go through that. Spelling counts, we'll add that in there. Okay, my tracking. Okay, so now I'm going to say Google Analytics is done. Google tag added, which by the way, if you add Google Analytics, your Google tag is there. So just keep that in mind. And okay, Google Analytics is done. Google tag added. What else did we do? Oh, Google Search Console is verified. Google Search Console set up. And I added Inbox Geeks Pixel. Okay, so there we go. Tell me in priority order exactly what I still need to finish. Okay, so here we go. So now, again, you may already know what you need to finish, but this will keep you in alignment. So I'm going to go back to my chat window over here. So let's pull this up. Top 3 fixes. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to paste this in and I'm going to say run the prompt here. So it's going to give me some feedback on what I still need to do. Okay, so it's going through my page. It's going to give me some feedback on that and what I need to fix. So I'm going to let it think for a minute and it's going to come back with what I'm doing. So on your side, you can choose to use the prompt or not. Again, this would be a step where you may not have to use the prompt, but hey, I wanted to make this as easy as possible. So I had prompts created for every single step of the process, just so there's nothing that is left out. So if you're wanting to use AI for every step of the process, great. Or if it's going to look at things that we can improve on. So it's going through and it's going to analyze your conversation. Now, one of the things I do want to point out at this step, when it comes to AI, the thing that I do want to mention to you is that it does help you when you craft and put everything under one chat window. So by that, I mean one chat session. I want to have everything. So if I'm in Claude, as much as I can over the 30 days, I'm going to put everything under one chat area because that's going to benefit me in a lot of ways because now it can go back up through the chat and actually pull down the data. So I'm not starting from scratch every time. I don't want to have 100 chat windows. That's a lot to track. I'd rather just have it all 30 of them or as many as I can get under one spot. So you can see here it did the work, okay? One reframe, your tracking looks done, but everything you named is organic, analytics. Okay. Okay, page view, search console does that. Perfect. Okay, it's just giving me a reminder. We're not at the phase for Google Ads tracking yet because we haven't set up our Google Ads account yet. So it's great. It's just checking all of our work, which I appreciate. Okay. You need the actual, okay. So it's reminding me, which we need this, which is fine because we need this on day number 5. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. Fix before you scale. Add proof, then the headline. That's definitely something it wants. Match the ad to the final headline. It even gives me tier 3 of what I should do. Protect the accounts. Complaints, check the pages, confirm the order bump is firing if you have one. But here it says the most important thing to fix today. It tells me what that would be. So you could run a test purchase. You don't need to run a test purchase. So I'm just going to point that out. I'm not a tester myself. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you, I've been in business 28 years. I am a ready, aim, fire kind of marketer. So my philosophy is, and I'm not even a recovery type A person, so I won't even go there. But my philosophy is done is better than perfect. Get the project out there. So do not overanalyze this day number 4 prompt. Don't overanalyze it and say, "Oh my gosh, there's so much more I have to fix." Like don't do that to yourself. Take the top fix that you can do in 15 minutes or 10 minutes and do that. If that's tweaking a price, if that's tweaking a subheadline, if that's adding a new picture to your page, if that's making sure one of the correct pixels is on there, do that. Do not delay sending traffic, which is going to start at day 5 on down. Do not delay sending traffic over perfection. It will not help your brand. It will not help your business. It will not help your bottom line. You will not make money. I do not do test purchases, and I'll tell you why I don't. Because A, I've been doing this long enough. I know when it's going to work. B, if my automations and all that stuff is not firing, I will figure that out once somebody has made their first few sales, and I will manually give that person access to my product. I will manually make sure that that order is delivered and shipped. I don't care, because at the end of the day, my goal as an entrepreneur is to get revenue in the door. And so many businesses get stuck and they get hung up and they sit around and they wait around because they want everything to be perfect and they want to test everything and they want to do all these things. You can test when it becomes inconvenient, or you can not test, sorry. You can automate everything when it becomes inconvenient. Focus on the traffic, focus on the sales, and then get the results, and then focus on the automation when you're stressed out and tired of doing all that. But so many businesses get it in reverse. They automate everything, and then they find out A, they have an offer that's not converting, or B, worst case, they never even get to the traffic phase. So I don't want you to get hung up. I don't want you to get twisted. I don't want you to get in a spot where you're sitting here at day 4 going, oh no, I can't go to day 5 now because I've got a whole bunch of things I need to fix still. No, use it as a guide for the future. You can update it later. My whole point is, if you're going to win online, try to stick to the plan here and do a few minutes each day. Don't go overboard. You're going to get burned out quickly. You're going to get stressed out easily. Focus on the end result, which is a sale. If your automation is broken, fine, we'll fix it later. That's something you can do later on. It's a good problem to have when you have sales coming in and you have to manually send products out, digital products, physical products, whatever the case is. That is a great problem to have. That means you're making sales. Congratulations. Now go figure out how to automate it so that doesn't become a problem after you've made sales. Don't wait till you've made your first sale a lot of people sit that down and they never get to that first sale because they spent weeks and months stressing out over the automation. I'm giving you freedom here to be successful, to go make your first sales, to focus on the traffic. I'm giving you the freedom to say no to perfectionism, because perfectionism is the number one biggest killer of entrepreneurship right now in the world. Perfectionism will kill your business. It will destroy your momentum, and it will destroy your profitability. Focus on done is better than perfect, and you will win online. So I cannot stress that enough. That's your goal here. Just fix anything that you think you can do in the window that I've allotted, 10, 15 minutes. If you want to be an overachiever, go 30 minutes, great. I don't want anybody spending hours on this and stressed out, laying awake at night and going, oh my gosh, I've got to do all. No, perfectionism can, take some backseat here. Perfectionism will ruin your progress. And I've watched it countless times. I've been in business 28 years. I've consulted with tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs over my life. The number one thing I deal with consistently are people that are way too perfect, and that causes them never to achieve success. The people I hang around that have the biggest success online are the people that said no to perfectionism. They said yes to launching. Amazon was not perfect when it launched. eBay was not perfect when it launched. None of these platforms were perfect when they launched, but they got better and better over time. So focus on just getting to this step to where you have everything done, and let's start to drive traffic, because I can't wait for you to turn on the traffic and get your ads account created and start seeing those first subscribers and those first leads and those sales coming in, or the next sales, whatever the case is. So thanks for being here on this journey. We are going to start tomorrow on starting out with some of the traffic methods, and I can't wait for you to be a part of that. Thanks, everybody.